Let's talk. I haven't got a chance to chat with you, I don't think, about it since the $230 million guaranteed deal with Deshaun. Now, he had missed football. Obviously, everything that happens is another whole thing that could wear on you, especially with the decisions. And, that's on him. But I'm talking just strictly football here. He was away from the game for a long time. I wondered about rust. And, even as a punter, if I sat out of football for 2 years and I was just to go back, even in my position, I think my leg, my body would take a little bit to kind of adjust, get thrown back in there. Are we at the point now where you think, mentally, physically, football-wise, Deshaun has caught up to the time that he potentially missed? And what are your expectations for him? Are we still trying to get back to form, or you think this year is going to be the year after the injury where it's we're going to see Deshaun Watson with what he was in Houston?
No, we feel very good about the transition, Pat. He's in a really good spot. Mentally, physically. Obviously, he's been rehabbing the shoulder injury, but he's well on his way there and in a really, really strong spot. I think he's a lot more comfortable within the organization. We have a core group of guys on offense that have now played together for a number of years, and we do expect to hit the ground running, on that side of the ball. And I know he's very excited about returning to the playing field and getting over this injury. And we do have high expectations for him and the offense this season.
Did you know there was a chance though, after missing that much football, this might? For just reality of the situation?
Yeah, I think you even look at it with, players who are coming back from serious injuries. I don't think it's uncommon for there to be some transition or acclimation. That has to be in the realm of possibility. But we still feel really good about Deshaun. We like the trajectory that we've seen. And we really do think that he's going to have a big year.
If he can get back fully to what he was. I mean, we saw it obviously with Houston and Indy being 2 times a year. And then there's that clip of JJ walking off the field to Deshaun saying, "I'm so sorry we wasted your year." I think, but reality of the situation, guys that have been around were hey, you're away from ball. Things move fast, That's why the whole, and I don't want to break, but Colin Kaepernick potentially coming back after 7 years away, I'm
long time.
If he could mentally do 7 years away from the highest level on earth, where people are spending every moment of their life in there, that would have been a phenomenal feat. I hope Deshaun gets back to full form for you guys, but also for the good of the NFL, because he was electric every time he touched the field when he was with Houston. We'll see if it happens in Cleveland. Now, on that note, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, speaking of the quarterbacks just in general, Andrew, obviously you want Deshaun to play every game when you've paid him the kind of money that you have, but it seems like in years past, and it's kind of starting to change now, but teams who are paying their quarterback that much, your backup quarterback is kind of just if you lose your starter, you're screwed. You're not expecting the guy to come in and actually compete with the team you have. And then obviously last year you have the magical run with Flacco. You bring him in, you guys go to the playoffs. And then this offseason signed Jameis, and he's obviously started in the NFL, played a lot of meaningful football. So how, just kind of with all that in mind, how important is it to have a backup quarterback in the room where if something is to happen to Deshaun, you feel comfortable enough, hey, the guy we're putting in, there's not going to be that much of a drop-off. We're still going to compete, and we're still going to win football games despite how much we're paying our starting quarterback?
Yeah, that's something that I really took from my time with Howie Roseman in Philadelphia. And it's quite simply, quarterback's the most important position in sports. It has the biggest impact on the outcome of games in the NFL. And no different than you wouldn't stop adding to your talent base in the O-line room, the D-line room, pass catchers, corners. Why would you really do that at quarterback, especially knowing how much a quarterback injury or something along those lines can derail your season? So, I think back to Philly, right? Their only Super Bowl they won with their backup quarterback. And so for me, coming into the general manager seat, really since day one, when we had Baker, one of our first major free agent signings was Case Keenum to have a good backup. Obviously, when we traded for Deshaun, the first person we signed in free agency was Jacoby Brissett. We had Dobbs and then drafted, a young kid, Dorian Thompson-Robinson last year, and then obviously transitioned to Flacco's. We kept getting guys hurt.
Yeah.
And then, Jameis this year. So for us, we maybe take a little bit of a different approach than others. That's an area where we are fine spending resources because we know how important the position is and how much it can impact your season.